Hey, I'm Bob Finnegan.
And I'm Violet from Rolling For Artistry.
And welcome to Byte by Byte, the series where we break down films, movies, and trailers during our lunch break. It definitely isn't a rip-off of Open Bar and Every Film Appalls.
This is a series shared by us both, with guests appearing whenever they get a chance. We'll be reviewing movies and shows ranging from the good, the bad, to the ugly.
This series will mostly be unedited and uploaded much like a VOD. However, there will be many visual edits and ways to make sure we're not thrashed by copyright.
I expect this to be a lot of fun, since we'll get a chance to talk about a lot of media that we have a lot of thoughts about, without having to make sure it's a super polished, scripted thing. Instead, get really just our pure thoughts on the matters.
However, I must warn, this specific starter one is going to have a lot of twists, turns, and bumps because it was like midnight to 1 a.m. when we recorded it, so I don't even remember what's funny in this video.
Well, midnight for you. I'm just like that all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoy the new series. Let's crack on. I'm just going to delay it because I don't want to hear the voice again. Context, we've already watched this. We're just going to go through again for deeper analysis or to reiterate what we spoke to each other about.
Yeah.
Because we seem
By the way, the
good,
Discord stream is on your Google Drive. The Discord stream that I'm seeing through.
Fucking stupid.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Right, can you see it? Right. With me tonight, is Rolling For Artistry, also known as Violet. Say hi.
Howdy.
Yo. And I'm Bob Finnegan. Welcome to Byte by Byte. Inspired by Every Film Appalls, because they're chads. We're just going to do this little funny going through a movie trailer and picking it apart bit by bit, or bite by bite.
Yeah.
Really funny. And to celebrate the first video, I instinctively got an ice cream so I can do it bite by bite.
I currently have some Warheads candies with me.
Oh,
so I am also eating. So, we're both doing this.
Should we actually
rocking and rolling?
Should we actually have food be like an actual part of this becomes a series?
I'm always eating, don't worry.
That'll be really good.
It's going to be a part of the series whether you want it to be or not. I'm eating all the time.
No, without further ado, let's get in.
Yeah.
This first scene that we talked about.
Oh, I love this so much. Like, literally. The heat,
already pausing here, the way
that
the music gets in.
The lighting is so beautiful all the time, and the music is so in sync with everything.
This is going to be a running trend you'll see in this video. We do a lot of praising. Because
it's so good. Everything about... There's... The thing I said a lot last time we were watching it is, there is only one thing wrong with this movie. And we all know what it is. Anyway.
I love how that's dun dun dun, and then as it comes closer, that's when that happens.
Yeah.
Then with the cut, dun. Like I know it's standard. I mean, I've done it before.
Yeah, just making
less
like
good,
it shows attention to detail.
To a less good extent in my college stuff, but yeah, it does show attention to detail. So because this is illumination, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And then this nice shot. Everybody, screenshot this, make your fucking background for your computer if you want. Nice blue. It's a good contrast to the fire that's awaiting. You can actually see.
Yeah.
Sorry for monologuing like this. I'm fucking syndrome. You can actually see if I go frame by frame and look at the floor. You can see it.
It's getting darkening underneath the weight.
It is looming, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
As you were going to say?
Yeah, no, I was saying, yeah, it's like the way it's like darkening and looming, and it's like so intimidating.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
Like it's Bowser from the hit series Mario, but they're not pissing about. Next bit.
Yeah.
This drop, the way the chain moves, it shows proper
it's so
weight.
good. It's so good.
Especially
it yeah, and like the way it's crushing it, the weight, it's so clear, and it also gives the flying structure a lot of weight as well because of how it's having to be pulled down. Like if
Yeah,
it just
because
touched
watch.
down gingerly, it wouldn't have nearly the same like intimidating weight and presence that it has with these chain anchors.
Yeah, because it's not just a regular anchor that just stops the ship. Now it pulls this down. Okay, I'd like to say the imposing shot here.
Yeah,
Everything about this about it just screams power, a dominant
power.
force,
Yeah,
if not shown by a very classic variation being the low shot, where the camera is low, pointing upward towards whatever is superior, and what is lower is inferior. That's simply what the low shot will represent. Trust me, go to film school. We can see all the destruction. This doesn't really give 10 shits about the civilization. Of course, it's just here to conquer. And do you want to go
he's
on
here
about
to
the?
destroy.
Do you want to go on about the
Oh
design of
yeah,
this?
so something yeah, the way the whole building is the whole like island. It clearly is like meant to be super reminiscent of Bowser, not just like the head, but like you can see the way it's shaped and like the spiking. It really feels like it like is reminiscent of Bowser all the way through. It's really nice, and the way it touches down, giving like and like the steam smoke like pluming up around it. It gives it has so much weight, and the lighting is absolutely beautiful with it, and
Very reminiscent of a turtle.
yeah.
As you said again, with the spikes and the way it gets bigger gradually. Like if you were to, if this looks like an inverted version of the shell, because if you were to, let's say you would 3D map this and then
It
invert its shape, it would be up to down. But this seems like it's been inverted, so it's like that instead.
Yeah, it has like the way it flows around. It has very like rounded, almost just it's very jagged in its actual shape, but it gives the implication of almost a roundness
Like an oval.
as well. Yeah, it feels very it feels like almost round,
Yeah.
despite being spiky, and it's very well done.
I want to go again with this establishing shot, having power and dominance like this. You could fit about 3 of these guys in here. It's much taller. It's glowing intense red, which is dominating the already kind of intense, but not as much blue. Then this fiery, furious red and orange and yellow, just overcoming all the blue around it, emanating its own power. The way the music as well, just listen to this.
Oh yeah, the flow, like the
The
music
way
fits super well with
it
the with
flows
like the sound
with the
effects.
fog.
It's
It flows with the fog. It gives a sense of power.
so well done.
And then here,
Behold, the king of the Koopas!
I just want to say, I love how they've made these characters. I'm just going to go a bit back
The
here.
armoring and the rank. Yeah.
So I want to go a bit back so we can see these front guys a bit better. It feels like an. I'm going frame by frame. It feels like an actual army, and with different variants of. Okay, I can see what you mean now. But the
Yeah,
blackness of
it's
that.
yeah, they're
Sorry,
both black, I think.
that's
Yeah, that was a whole debate we had whether
we
one
had-
of them's black and one was red, or whether they were both black. They're all black.
Because I kept thinking this one was red. I love how
It's-
the difference with like different, what would you call the companies?
Yeah,
The flag-
companies.
Companies for flag, how they have all this armor, but then these
Yeah, having
aerial
the-
ones have less armor, as you can see with like the no leg straps and visibly no arm straps, maybe, but has shoulder pads instead, possibly, or that might be part of the wing. I can't really tell because there's this little bit here.
I think I'm seeing shoulder pads because I see a little bit of. I feel like I see a little bit of like right above the flat white line, a little bit of something that be leading into
Like
an
a
upward. No,
pole
not that.
That
Well, no, you were a little bit off of there, but like right on the on top of the white. I see a little bit of a red, almost like a red line is coming up
yeah,
to imply like the turtle shell shoulder pauldron things.
yeah. Oh, I see it now. Ayo, yeah.
Yeah.
And like the boots are they look a little bit different. They're not as coloured. Like they've got blue here and red here, but then These are obviously colored as
So, like,
just green and
variation
red.
to individuals is very...
Yeah. I love this character. I can't remember his name. I'm just going to call him the Magic Cooper. They kept the signature color because this guy, I remember, he has certain shapes and colors when he does his magic in the game. And you can see them utilized here. Right?
Yeah.
It's very subtle. But it
So much
works.
attention to detail about everything.
Yeah.
King of the Koopas!
So that's slam down for that. I'm just going to do it again without interrupting it.
Behold, the King of the Koopas!
I love that. The way they stamp in tune with the music and the way they all turn, they feel like an
stunning
actual
sound design,
military.
stunning visual design.
They feel like a force to be reckoned with. They feel like they are organized. This isn't their first rodeo. They are preparing for their leader.
A legitimate, trained, and experienced army.
Yes, and then this shot.
The backlighting and...
Look at this. This gives me Ozai vibes, as I said to Violet beforehand.
Yeah, like, very, like, intimidating.
Yeah, as I was saying,
Yeah,
this is very intimidating. It's very... With the eyes, it gives a mysterious power. Like, we already know it's powerful, right? But someone who's never seen Mario before, it gives this omnipresent, like, malicious vibe.
Yeah,
like,
and that's something we're going to see a lot in this scene is that despite, like, doing a lot of comedy, they're going to maintain this feeling of power in Bowser and even intensify it. Yeah, he's not being undercut at all, which is so important to having, like, a good, legitimate villain, because you need the villain to be serious for any of the plot to matter.
We'll get onto how most things undercut it in a bit, because I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
Let's look at that. And then this shot raises to see the true might of the Koopa Kingdom's army.
Yeah, and you could the might, the expansion, the numbers.
This isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
And the way he comes in
and you can see kind of very good organization within the army of I can't tell what those are in the middle, if they are either they could be, I can't quite tell what those are, the alternate ranks in the middle of between the companies.
Jeez.
I would bet they're either distance range troops, or they are supposed to be shield bearers for the company behind them.
Looks like shield bearers.
Shield bearers makes more sense because there's not a line behind the final line, so that means they're at the front of the company, not the back.
Yeah.
I might be using company wrong. It might be like this might be a platoon, or I'm not super familiar with direct military terms.
I wouldn't know because I'm not a military person.
Yeah, shield bearers might make would make more sense possibly because it seems more like they're in the front of each block instead of in the back. But a case could be made for either, unless we could get a better shot of them.
Especially, as far as I'm aware, and correct me on this, but as far as I'm aware, we don't actually see shield bearers in.
We don't see them in the front line. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we see shield bearers much in Mario, but if we're trying to make like a very organized rank sort of deal with them, maybe, because we don't have like very long range. We have the Koopas who can throw hammers in the Mario games, which are probably the closest I remember to like something directly ranged.
It wasn't there like
and it
one
could just
that
be
could
that
have.
These are.
Wasn't there one that shot a bow and arrow like a Cupid?
I don't remember. I only remember the hammer ones.
No.
I could be wrong.
I could be remembering incorrectly. But do you want to?
If I were to bet anything, it looks like heavy. It looks like heavy range weaponry to me. I'm almost seeing like, because with like we're seeing like a reflective like a tube, which reminds me of like cannons almost. And I could see cannons working with it because there's cannons in the games.
Are there?
In some parts, it's more of like it's more generally set up as an environmental obstacle.
Oh, yeah, I know that. But, like, I thought you meant like one carrying.
No. There's cannons as environmental obstacles, but I could see this being a good way to implement that if they didn't want to implement it into landscape.
Yeah, Do you want
into like landscape or areas or zones.
Because
I'm
you
not
did
sure.
well expanding on it, by the way. When
Oh
we
yeah,
last
the
talked,
long
when you last
shadow of
talked
like he's
about it,
conquering.
do you want to bring out
Yeah.
our inner English student?
Yeah, so yeah, he's got so like this very shows like by giving him the backlighting how they did. First of all, they were able to very well use it and then continue to implement it. And he has such a long shadow that like you can't quite tell, but it looks like it's probably extending out of the frame even. And like the long shadow of his conquest of like the fear that he's imposing upon the entirety of the world in this, like the long shadow that like countries and the world leaders have as described as like how that affects everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't explain it as well this time as I did last time, did I?
Yeah, no, it's alright. You did good. You did good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Stuff like this is hard to usually explain because it's all theory crafting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good visual shorthand to show that he has like a long shadow of intimidation over people.
Yeah, and then this is the next shot that we talked about. It's very, very small, and it's a trope that's often used, but it's a good one. It shows that it's both a comedic, yes, I have the cowardly trooper, but also it does show the intimidation that Bowser can impose upon even his own ranks. It's an overused trope, but it is a good trope. That's why it's overused.
Yeah, it's the trope of the coward, like the cowardly underling who's like afraid of the big boss, and that's often is used to make the big boss look more look stronger. Though sometimes it's like a little overdone. It just makes them look weak and dumb. But like I feel like it's like done like well enough here that it just makes Bowser look more intimidating while also making like a joke out of it too, without undercutting Bowser's intimidation. They're making a joke about Bowser's intimidation.
Yeah. And then it's this. Open the gates! Now, before I get onto the comedy sector of that, I could have...
Oh.
But you want to wait?
Moves. Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah. I want to get onto the talking and the animation, how he moves and stuff. It's so good.
I was going to go on with that.
Yeah.
As well. So if you want to pitch yours first.
It's just so dynamic how everything moves with his movement.
Yeah. Let's go.
And it's such good
wrong buttons. The way his mouth moves when he's opening the gates. He's using a lot of squash and stretch.
Yeah. A lot of stretching, moving, dynamicism with it.
He looks very alive.
Yeah, very alive and animate.
It's good for a bloody Illuminations movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much energy behind this man. He's had too much coffee.
Yeah. Whenever he moves, all of him moves.
It's beautiful.
Really good. It makes it like a lot more alive.
And I know this is meant to be like basic animation, but like fucking Illumination is not known for good animation.
It's become a thing in like the world of like a lot of 3D animation is that it starts getting more stiff and trying to imitate reality too much. It's like a thing that always gets dunked on in like those motion capture games, animated quote unquote animated games, where a lot of the scenes are like done with like motion capture and actors and stuff. That it feels like they're like so stiff and boring. They're not really. They're not working with the medium. They're trying to work against the medium.
Yeah,
this really works with the medium.
This utilizes every single bit of it.
Yeah.
And then this opening bit, I'm so used to the joke, which undermines the villain. Well, they'll say something like this. Open the gates! Then it opens, and it then shows a wide shot from the side angle. And it just shows the villain stumbling over like as if because they decided to make a joke about how little time was between here and here, right? So see them shuffling over like they just thrown some tissue paper and put it in. Everything okay?
What? Yeah.
All right, because you can hear something in the background.
Oh, that's just the door. It squeaked.
Okay, as I was saying, like he just thrown some paper into the bin and had to do the walk of defeat as he had to pick it back up. I hate that trope.
Yeah,
and I was upon first viewing, I was so ready for that to happen, but instead this happens and it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Too many things with the like try to make jokes at the expense of their villains, and it just makes jokes out of the conflict, and it sucks. And this is so good that it doesn't do that.
Yeah. Because then this just is that, which is much better. Because instead of making fun of this guy and taking away from literally everything, it has
make
a
jokes out of
slow opening of with the ice's fumes going off.
Oh, I feel like the
dry
shadow
ice.
actually, if you zoom back, I don't know if I noticed this before. The shadow looks. It's supposed to look like a dude's behind there, a big dude.
It looks like a dude with a
Yeah, it looks like there's
crown.
a big little dude back there. Yeah, with the shadows. I don't know why I didn't see that before.
I didn't see that either, so
yeah, that's part. I think that's part of why that's supposed to have the impact it does.
Yeah, because then it opens up. We expect to see this big fella, but instead
we expect to see this big old dude.
So, because
and it's a little man.
Because not only do they have to go downward to be able to see them, like the camera will
zoom in.
Pans down.
The camera pans down, then zooms in.
No, sorry, pan's the wrong word. So the actual word is tilt. Sorry, it tilts down, then it zooms in.
Tilts down. Yeah.
Panning is left and right. Tilting is up and down.
I don't know how that sort of thing works.
Panning is left and right. Tilting is up and down. Trucking is left and right, but instead of turning, it's moving while keeping the angle on the same axis. You know?
Right.
So imagine the difference between turning your head and staying looking at the same direction while walking sideways, right?
Yeah.
And dollying is looking at that thing but moving forward and backwards. That's the technical terms.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna forget all these. I'm not.
You're not meant to remember it. I'm just doing it because I want to flex. Yeah. I want to flex my knowledge. Yeah, I did film. I'm in film school. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm a nerd. I'm actually flexing here. You see this, and I love. Well, we said we loved about this because they just take themselves way too seriously. Look at this.
They take themselves very seriously, and I really
so stupid.
Yeah, and part of it could be like false bravado. They prepared themselves to do this to try to intimidate Bowser. Because that's maybe they think it might be their only chance because they're comically weak.
Yeah, honestly. There was a comedy small, but also because there's little mannerisms that makes you think they really do think they're big. Because look at the King Penguin's face. He does that little smirk, like an evil smirk
of confidence.
Like that reminds me of I'm 14, this is deep. And it's you don't want to know my dark side. it's like that one Doctor Who quote, demons run when a good man goes to war or some shit, It's like that's stupid. It's like that edgy shit. Like some kid with that.
The nothing personal kid thing teleports behind you.
Yeah. I just want to go about this before we go on about Baltz's reaction to that. How their preparedness to it. They're all just charging in. Right.
Yeah, it makes it very clear they've not seen combat. They have no idea what they're doing.
Because they go and it shows them scooping up a snowball. However, they have an efficiency of scooping up these snowballs.
Yeah, but they don't. That is
one fine. Wait, this is one fine. That's one fine snowball.
Yeah, but you can tell. Their ranks are disorganized. There's running. A lot of them look kind of panicked as they're running. They're like, "Oh no, what am I doing?"
Fuck.
They have no experience. And then, Bowser's armies they're in clear, calm ranks, they're moving in unison. They know what they're doing. 100%, and these guys don't.
Yeah, because it just cuts to or it doesn't even cut. It does specifically it's panning to the left while dollying out. And then around here it starts to zoom out as it cuts to a wide shot, zooms out to this. To which it then cuts to a medium shot of that. Because I love this. Because it just shows how little it matters.
Yeah.
And how seriously they take themselves. Because then it gets to this.
Again, bit. I'm just so... I know I'm going back to this so much, but I just love that they're making the jokes about like the people he's wiping out right at the start instead of the enemies we're supposed to be scared of the entire time. Like he's making the jokes out of people we don't need. They're making the jokes out of the people we don't need to care about later.
Which is so
instead
good.
Of about
it's
the,
better than the other way around.
Enemy force, yeah, it's so good.
Instead of making a joke about Bowser, then having him rip him apart, because that makes him less of a intimidating force. I was going to do it anyway, and more of a Kylo Ren, where he just suddenly loses control. No offense to the actor who plays Kylo Ren, because his acting is mwah. I'd love to work with him one day. No, legit. I'd film that shit. But yeah, instead the expense of the joke is to the bloody the penguins.
To the one shot, victim people.
Because I wanna just like focus on Bowser's eye. I do it. I must admit.
It looks over like, is this a joke?
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, animation quote flaw here, where it's not really a flaw, it's more a tactic to make it seem faster. It actually comes out from under him. You see that?
Yeah.
But like in context of what he's actually doing.
Yeah,
it kind of just looks at it in complete confusion. Like, what the fuck?
Like, is this a weapon?
Before looking back at it.
Maybe if it was a regular lizard, it'd be effective though. If covered in enough ice, he'd go right to sleep in hibernation.
I mean, I guess.
But unfortunately, they got the fire reptile, not the regular reptile.
It's so stupid. And there's this scene.
I do like that the other none of the other Koopas like break rank at all when that one gets like absolutely destroyed. They maintain rank, which shows discipline.
But this one gets. I want to see it in
casualty
slow.
Of the battle.
Look at him. Although clearly there's been magic here, so clearly.
Oh, the other guy just moved, and this
guy... the magic guy just kind of moved clearly, and he just got. Okay, no. Okay, this guy.
There's a step to the side, but they get back into rank. He'll get back into rank. No one else break. They break rank enough so that nobody else gets like harmed, but everyone else around them.
It's believable.
Yeah, it's just enough breaking rank to prevent a domino effect. Because something they could have done with this bit is have it just like a domino effect all the way down, and I would have made a joke out of it.
They took the initiative to show they are. They're experienced enough.
They moved out of the way to prevent damage, but the surrounding ranks stayed in position.
Yeah, and then the higher officers, clearly higher officer, does not give a shit.
He doesn't even look. He's like, they got it. They're fine.
Yeah. I like this thing here. The one with the eye patch.
No one's like moving to help him. They're maintaining their position so far as they can without like. Continual damage.
I like this. The one with the eye patch kind of lifts his eye patch up.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this subtle joke.
They're like, wait, they actually managed to hurt one of us?
Hey, yo.
Man. Maybe we slightly underestimated them, just a little.
Yeah.
That is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield?
Again, they're just taking themselves
seriously. It's like a played straight shot. Yeah,
look at their faces.
Played straight so well.
Yeah, it's so good that, as you said when we last watched this, they're making themselves physically wider.
With their stances are very wide to make themselves look bigger.
Yeah, kind of like a panda. Like kind of like a red panda making themselves taller. Yeah. They're just trying to be very intimidating. It's like, that is but a strength of our power. They are not formalized at all. They are like barbarians. And that is not an disrespectful sense.
And again, it could be like
if you were to compare the Koopas to the Romans, it would be Romans and barbarians.
Yeah, which barbarians meant anybody who wasn't Roman in Roman times. That was like the word. Barbarian meant anyone who wasn't Roman.
Well, so basically that would mean Germanic tribes what I'm talking about. But like, basically they're extremely disorganized. They're using anything they can grab, aka the fucking snow.
Yeah.
They don't really have a plan.
Isn't necessary, which technically isn't less effective depending on the type of combat.
I know, but
because it allows them to be more versatile, but it shows they don't have experience.
Obviously, they haven't
Yeah.
prepared for this threat that they
Yeah.
obviously know exists because they're able to look at him and go, "Hi, I know you." Because like he
He
wouldn't.
says, "Open the gate," and they're like, "Oh, we gotta fight now."
Yeah,
But they weren't expecting to be there.
pretty much.
Yeah. It shows disorganization and inexperience. But yeah, but being not having organized ranks doesn't necessarily mean, but it's obvious that that's what it's meant to mean in this context.
Yeah. Then it's just like, do you ye? And again, the water vapor from the mouth, that's just the small tastes. And he takes himself way too seriously still. And then you just got this bit. Where they just kind of all get back into they all just get into formation. I love it. Right after.
Which they're clearly putting their guard back up, but that shows that they put their guard down while they were listening, which also shows that they're not like
experienced.
Yeah, they're not as experienced. They're getting like they got basically distracted by him talking
for a good like 15 seconds.
They weren't focused. You see some of them looking back towards Bowser.
Yeah,
and it's like, what?
Specifically,
focus.
Yeah, you do see some.
There's a lizard dragon turtle man.
Like this one, he was not fucking focusing.
Yeah.
Nor are they here.
You can use your listening ears without using your listening eyes, penguins.
I do not.
I just want to talk about this I do not bit. I love it.
Yield.
Jack Black. Jack Black is so good at voice acting. This is probably This is probably the only part of that I've heard him say that I actually think it is Jack Black because of the like voice he'd put on at the start of Kung Fu Panda. But that's probably it. He is so good at voice acting, and the small giggle where again his entire body is moving until his eyes widen, his face gets brighter, the shine from this side eclipsing a shadow over his face. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
As he looks at them with intense. I don't know what this is. Anger, fury, not really.
I feel like it's like
also it's like
he's here for one thing, and
it's how I see it. Glory, or like he will have glory, is the type of thing. Like, what's the word? The thrill of the battle.
He's seen this, and now he is even more honestly reads me like. Yeah, he's seen this and now he's even more cocky and confident about his victory.
Pretty much,
like, oh, this is going to be child's play kind of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm not good at my words.
I could kill these people in my sleep.
Literally, and then he looks down to obviously indicate Magic Koopa, which I would like to indicate by this we can identify this happens afterwards, but it does that.
Yeah, because we got the penguins in the background. Clearly, this shot. This isn't a cohesive, singular scene that we'll see in the movie. It's going to be arranged differently.
But no trailer.
Yeah, no trailer is. No trailer is.
We just wanted to point that out. Well, specifically, I did. So we see this guy do magic again with the little shapes and stuff, like
the
from
sparks
the game
around.
show.
Yeah, the sparks and the. Oh, it's so beautiful. The way it's done so well.
We can actually see purple on this guy's. Crown.
Yeah, and you can also see it. Lighting shifting on their fur and everything in the reflections there. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is so known until it all just starts grabbing them up with a wave of magic. I'll probably show. I'm going to show the full thing.
I do not.
Now let's break that down.
Yep.
I do not. We've already broken this bit down. Does the magic. Then aims towards these guys. Again, beautiful animation. I love the effects here. And this guy, they're all looking to the king. They're scared. They're confused. They don't know what to do. They have no preparedness.
They don't have the experience to try to make decisions on their own. They need to wait for orders.
Yeah.
Because they have no idea what they're doing.
I like the added touch that it doesn't just move it that way. It gets flung this way a bit before moving that way. And it looks like they're intentionally separating the king specifically away because he just goes straight that way.
Yeah.
When these ones move a little bit first. And then we see these guys to prove that this isn't their first rodeo, although it's a little bit small.
They're already in movement.
They already apprehended that this guy. They're obviously trained to not care because he puts his boot on his head, aims it at his back. Right, this is This is not a group of army that cares.
And they're not having it seems like they're not having to receive direct orders on everything they do, which shows experience. They know what's expected of them and what they have to do.
And initiative.
The expectations have been set. They've done this before.
And now comes one of the greatest spectacles of this trailer.
Oh, so beautiful.
Now let's spend half an hour talking about this. So we see him charging up the attack, like the fire is in his mouth or something. Or it's like he's about to spit, but we know the fire doesn't start in his mouth. Because once it starts, we can see it starting at the edge. It's clearly magic and not like he's got like the fire organ in his throat or something. He's doing magic here. Yeah, which is, as you said before in the pre-recording assessment of this, apparently it's a lot like a game where it's more magic based.
Yeah, in the game he uses the same type of fire attacks that Mario gets when he gets a magical, like when he gets the fire flower. So the fire flower shows it's a magical effect because Mario gets it from the fire, and it's a very similar thing that Bowser does in a couple of the games at least.
Yeah.
I can't claim expert on the games. I was also there while someone else was playing the games a lot when I was growing up.
Yeah, I would like to clarify, none of us are experts here.
Yeah.
We just stated
my only experience is secondhand, but I did see a lot.
Yeah.
But I never was paying a lot of attention because I was never the one playing.
Alright. Then we have the blast coming towards the castle. Fortress.
Yeah, and the way
we
you
can see the
lighting.
reflection, the lighting, the way they actually gets darker in contrast up here compared to light up here, because that's how lighting works.
Yeah.
And it's legit beautiful, and the way it kind of plumes off as it hits is beautiful.
And you can see that it's like a singular line in the move, but the movie makes it seem like a lot larger of like a spire, and it's pretty clear. It's obviously it has to move probably because Bowser probably couldn't hold his head entirely still, and at the distance he's at between it, any small movement would be a larger movement.
Yeah,
in the end.
That will be clarified in a moment when we do see the distance. As you see, it then goes up.
Yeah, he's doing it from a fair ways away.
Smacks this, or goes down.
Absolutely destroying it. It's like
melting.
You can see like it's melting from like. Yeah, he's far away.
Because we can also see.
He's got range.
We can also see not only is it destroying it, but it's also from the vapors. It's not been melting.
Yeah,
as well,
it's vapors.
which is a great
melting away,
which is a great touch.
And
then here is great because the rest of these guys, when this like avalanche-ish thing comes, the rest of them are taking a back. They gotta cover their faces. They're stunting. This guy, he's already.
And it feels like definitely we see more. Yeah, he's already in a power stance.
Yeah, most because he's probably, as you said last time, he's holding the force of his own fire, and his tail is likely helping the balancing.
Helping them stay balanced and still. And you can see, like, with the way the Koopas are moving, it feels like, again, they've got the experience. They know what they need to do to keep their footing. Because we see the penguins, they're just being blindsided by this. They're probably getting blown away.
Yeah.
But the Koopas, they get in a stance where they will remain stable.
Yeah. It's beautiful. And then we have this scene.
I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
Before the music comes in.
Yeah, before the music comes in, we need to.
Now I want to again gush about the animation.
Yeah, it's it's always so good. All hits, no misses.
All hits in terms of the animation and visuals. Like he seems very alive, especially with this thing right here. He's invigorated. He's got a lot of adrenaline. He's ready. He's going. He's veering. Because without context of the games, we can assume this is a powerful thing. With context, we know this is a powerful thing, especially with Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So it's always like he's obviously invigorated, so he's legit asking, especially because Bowser is a stereotypical type of antagonist. He's legit asking, "Who's gonna stop me?" Usually, I do not like.
Oh yeah,
sorry, go on.
I don't know if I mentioned it last time. In the Super Mario Galaxy games, which is a very space game. You're in a spaceship a lot. The stars, or is it stars in that game? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stars are literally spaceship fuel.
I didn't know that. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, there's a fuel that you have to
games.
use to move between like worlds and stuff.
That's a great way
So
to tie
these are a
into
big
why you're
deal.
getting them. Yeah, these are like cosmic.
The Galaxy games are my sister's favorites.
Understandable.
So I saw them a lot.
Apparently they're good. I've not played them.
Are so good.
I've not played them, but from stuff I've seen, I can say they are good quality.
They were my favorite ones to watch her play.
Yeah, and as you said, this guy's very cartoonish villain, so of course he's going to say, "Who's going to stop me?" Usually I don't like.
Yeah, it feels like cliche, but he's like the archetypical cliche villain.
Yeah, because usually I don't like that cliche of "Who's going to stop me?" that it shows the protagonist.
He's just fully committed to being like a cliche, exaggeratedly like evil, scary villain type. He is built for this. This is his forte. It's not like an otherwise, he is the archetypical villain of cliches. So this feels like it makes a lot of sense for him. It fits really well. I love the lighting too in this. It's so good.
Yeah.
I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
Timed with the music again. Amazing.
Yeah. I just want to go in. Dun, 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 dun. So let's just go in frame by frame again. So this is obviously one of those tubes.
Yeah, the green pipes.
Building. This has obviously not been touched for ages. It's overgrown. Look at that.
Which would make sense if, because Mario, as we researched when we were talking about it before, is in fact from Brooklyn.
Which I did not know.
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn. So, and based on like how Mario will talk later, he's obviously not from the Mushroom Kingdom, which is why I think it's like that's why this building's like not been touched for a while, because this is where you go to Brooklyn to find a plumber to solve your problems, I guess. It's probably not an area that they go to a lot because it's not very often. You need to go find a plumber to fix things to save the world for you, I guess. I don't know.
I love the way he just kind of flies out. It's good velocity, and then the way that velocity is expressed upon the fungus.
Yeah, it gives it
squashes and deflates.
Ooh, and like you see it it continues to like wiggle a little bit.
Yeah.
It dips in again. Yeah, again with because maintaining like that energy still being
processed.
Yeah, it's very good.
And then we see it land on this one. A little bit more of a jiggle before it slows down. And actually, I'm going to let this scene play out.
Stop me!
Right, let's break it down from here. Well, actually, from there specifically. So, it slows down again. I love the music.
Yeah, very mystically. It's unusual world. It feels almost a little bit sci-fi, which I think is interesting. Like the vibe of it feels almost sci-fi to me,
and
which I like.
The plants and stuff. With all the plants and stuff, all they needed for the extra push with the music to make it feel alive was one butterfly. That's all they needed. It feels alive.
Yeah.
Now this shot.
Love the lighting and the way it's like the textures and stuff.
Yeah.
So good.
And the way, look at the grass. Look at the grass works.
Yeah.
God, it looks absolutely beautiful. So beautiful.
I love it.
And the fabric of the hat and the clothes and the gloves and the shoes and stuff, it looks real. Well, it doesn't look real, but it looks like it is fabric.
It's not still stylized, realism. But it looks really nice. It's well textured.
Yes, that is exactly what the words are. And then here's a bit more of an establishing shot of just the current area as he rubs his head, and we see the nice lighting and the more butterflies to make it feel even more alive.
Yeah.
Before he gets up, stretching, obviously in some pain, we get a better look of his general character design, the way the hairs work, where his eyes look. Generally nice. We get to see the end of the cap. Clearly, as he's not from here, just by how his face tells us, he's extremely
And he's like,
confused.
he does say, "What is this place?"
Yeah.
Which, further, make sure we know.
This for Brooklyn.
What is this place?
Yeah, that. So again, we're gonna slow it down because it's byte by byte. He gets a nice look. He's
I love
turning
the
around.
floating islands.
Yeah.
There's. Do you see the waterfall coming off that mushroom?
Yeah. It kind of bounces off.
It looks cool.
It looks very natural.
That's just fun. I just want to say that looks fun, and it likes cascading down like that.
Yeah.
Not sure where that water's coming from.
No clue. Maybe it's one of those pipes. Yeah.
That's actually all of Brooklyn's sewer water, and it is disgusting.
No. No. Nah, that's horrible. Yeah. So
That's why there's so many mushrooms.
we get a more basic establishing shot of the general area, and it's twisting around. I assume this shot would be even more extended in the main film. As we can see, they took away his ass. How do you think I feel about it?
No dumping.
They took away my ass. I cannot shit anymore.
It's flat, just like his performance.
Oh, shut up. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Oh, God. All in due
We'll
time.
get to that.
All in due time. Here's our second establishing
Maybe
shot.
all the bouncing around, he'll have one by the end of the movie.
Here's our second main area establishing shot.
It gives us a lot of scale of how big these mushrooms are
Yeah.
by doing that upper shot up there, so we can see the mushroom with small little Mario down there.
It gives us a nice sense of scale.
Nice sense of scale, yeah.
Whole ass world shown by very small amount of the world. Whole ass seen by someone with no ass. Yeah, so then we see just in awe of this location. It's like, what is this place?
This place.
And then look at the way the head moves as he then becomes intrigued.
And it's his hands open up with his movement and everything.
Yeah.
His movements are very tied together. It's very fluid. It's very nice. It's how people actually move when they're just moving and not trying to act, I guess.
It's
just very
beautiful.
Oh, it's so good.
And he's like, whoa.
And you can tell texturally that Toad's head thing, Toad's mushroom is different from the other mushrooms. Even the texture is super different.
We'll get into
which I like. Yeah.
So then he goes to touch this blue one. Wait, and then this happens.
Don't touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine.
We're gonna cut it there.
What
Go
is this
to
place?
that bit. I want to say, I hate this fucker's voice, but I also love it.
Yeah.
Because I hate it in terms of it's designed to not be like the original Toad's voice was, but I love it in terms of
you just don't like Toad.
It's a good Toad voice. Yes,
It's a very good Toad voice. You just don't like Toad's voice.
Yes, exactly. It's good in terms of its amazing performance. But holy fucking shit, if I have to listen to that for an entire movie, I'm going to be scratching my ears out.
Well, personally, I'm used to Toad's voice. I'm fine.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Mario fan. I'm going to watch the movie.
I'm not a Mario fan either. I just...
Okay, clarification. Not a lot of my family are Mario fans. I do like the texture of his clothes. I like the way his bag
texture is beautiful.
And
Texture
the fact he
is
has
so
a little
good.
lantern. He feels like he's a wandering
ounces
traveler.
and
The way the bag moves and stuff, everything feels disjointed.
Something I heard, again, I'm not super familiar with it, but there's two variations of Toad. There's Toad and there's Captain Toad. And Captain Toad's the one with the backpack, and he tends to be more assertive. and like leadery, while like default Toad doesn't have a backpack and he tends to be like very much more passive of a character.
So then, would
I'm
this
not
be
super familiar with that,
Captain
but that's just
Toad?
something I'd heard that I
Would
wanted
this
to
be
bring up.
Captain Toad, or perhaps is this just Toad with a backpack? Who knows? We're gonna have to watch the bloody movie
He
to find
feels reasonably like assertive of being able to like shout out and like interrupt and stuff. He feels a bit more assertive than I feel like a default Toad would be. But that's also just my thoughts as someone who's not like super duper familiar with it either.
Yeah. And then we get into the animation here. We see they actually have smear frames, which is really nice.
At least it looks like they do.
I love how 3D
pretty.
Yeah, that's a smear frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
I absolutely adore how they 3D animation.
It gives a lot more
animators
motion.
Are using it now.
Yeah.
Especially
it gives a lot.
So you first.
Smear frames do so much to like give like a lot more like life and like and like the feeling of movement to movement than just like, you know, higher frame rates don't do as much as a smear frame does.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's a big true. And also match with the squash and stress. Like look at his eyes, the way they stretch and stuff.
Yeah.
His body squashes.
It's stylized.
It
nicely stylized.
It all meets.
It really shows the emotion.
Because here we see him wriggling away. The Toad is like, oh, never mind. It's fine. Giving a little smile before gently hugging it. And as you can see here, this creasing makes it feel more like fabric.
Yeah, it's definitely textured differently than the other mushrooms are. So I guess the implication that it's like clothing, but I don't know if you're gonna commit to which side of the argument they're on in this movie. They might try to not.
I'm of the opinion they're on either both or neither argument, because like where it's I love the idea that they just added it in knowing people are gonna scream about it, rave about it, and not get a single answer out of it.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're gonna be like, yep, they're definitely hats, or yep, they're definitely not hats. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna leave it as argument bait, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's something really petty to argue about that doesn't like ruin anyone else's enjoyment of the movie, but it'll get people to really, really look at it so much and care a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's a hat. I've always thought it's a hat. It's a hat. I'll fight you. I'll fight anybody. It's a hat.
Sure.
Mario!
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
It's so flat. It's so flat. He could have done so much more.
Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine.
Even if he didn't want to like do like a voice, he could have sounded more energetic. And here we come. Like,
yeah, it just kind of sounded like he was reading it off the script.
yeah, it's so flat.
I love this shot though because he's focused on Toad and then his eyes move to the scenery as we then get another establishing shot. Seeing Toad run around with Mario and seeing the physics of the mushrooms and stuff just work, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's.
I love like the whole visual design of like the Mushroom Kingdom area and like the castle village area thing too. The way they're like all like leading up to the castle looks very nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's about time we enter the elephant in the room. Violet, would you like to rant?
I forgot what I wanted to.
About Pratt.
It's so bad. Oh, are we talking about the Koopa line?
Oh, you can include that. Just please go on
it doesn't. He clearly is not like putting like the emotion and heart into the role that he should be, because I know for a fact there's another voice actor, a very specific voice actor, who maybe, I don't know, been playing Mario for 20 years, who would go into this with all the emotion and heart, and like even if they didn't want it to be like exactly like the Mario and the things, like they wanted to like get less like cartoonified, less like like how Mario is, I guarantee you this Mario voice actor could do a different voice. He's a professional. He's a professional voice actor, and he would know what he's doing. It's like Charles Manet is his name. Something like that. I need to look that up to make sure I'm right there. Charles Martinet? I don't know how to say it. It's, yeah, but he's done a very good job for decades being Mario, and I guarantee you, as a professional voice actor, he knows how to take some notes and could have delivered so much better of a performance than Chris Pratt did. It's so flat, it's bland, and it's Chris Pratt. And he just sounds like Chris Pratt. It doesn't sound like Mario at all. Bowser sounds like Bowser. Toad sounds like Toad. And Mario's doing a great job being voicing Chris Pratt. Like man, Mario's Pratt voice is great.
What a
like,
great Chris Pratt
just
impression.
Like him.
What a great Chris Pratt impression.
Wow. It's like, come on. He doesn't even seem to care. It's just so.
Yeah. Oh, are we not going to mention the Koopa thing?
The Koopa thing. I forgot I was going with that. Yeah, in the direct where the thing is shown. Actually, do we want to show the direct?
I'll just link it in the description.
Okay. But yeah, in the scene, it's like, oh, I love playing the games as a kid, stomping on, and there's like a 20-second pause, and then he says Koopas, and to me, it sounds like he's like going through the script in his head, trying to remember the name of an enemy he faces as
it's more like 8 seconds, but sure.
It feels really long, so I exaggerated like 20 seconds, whatever. It's like a super long, awkward pause, and like. It's very clear, like, he has no idea.
Yeah.
He's got no clue. He only knows what he has to know for the script.
Hey, who remembers when Chris Pratt vouched for the 3%ers and the people who stormed White House on July 6th?
I don't know if I want to get into politics stuff with it, but yeah, Chris Pratt sucks.
Yeah, he kind of does
He sucks. He sucks. I'm trying to focus on his performance. To be like, I don't know.
Almost as much as I suck. It's not a good joke.
Yes. That joke, yes.
So here's the title card. Opinion?
I'm not sure I like the music, quite like the wave music used with this. It feels, I don't know, outside of a scene, just like where the music's having to like kind of carry with the over the title is, I don't quite like the music here because it doesn't feel very Mario-y. And I feel like the music when the title's showing up should feel a little bit more Mario-y, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But otherwise, I love it. Everything else about the title, I pretty much like.
All right, then let's get into the final bit.
So
we're gonna go back to that.
Yeah. With that, it definitely reads as like playing on like a Luigi's Mansion type of side B plot with him, but they're using the dry bones, which are part of the Koopa forces, to sort of connect him better with the overarching plot than if it was like a booze enemy. Like they're definitely trying to keep into a specific ecosystem of their enemies so that it can maintain a little bit more of coherency by using the full array available from the games.
Yeah.
Which is, it's nice, it's good. And then we want to get into, like, what you noticed about the movement and stuff.
Yeah. I quite like how the movement shows he is actually dodging it. Like, when
it's
this
like
one
upper body
lunges for his
twist
shoulder, he twists his body, his whole body moves with the shoulder. And then here, when he lunges, he, like, basically jumps and almost loses his balance. Like, he does not know what to do, but he is like running for his life. I love the inclusion of the desperation, And then he's running across Minecraft magma block. until he jumps across a lava lake and almost dies. As you can see, he doesn't fully make it.
Yeah, he's going up, like,
rushes.
scrambling back up that in the actual scene.
Rushes inside of the house. The fortress. And closes the door behind him. Again, kind of like Luigi's Mansion is. Maybe they may introduce Boo the Ghosts, and this is just how
They
Boo's
might.
gonna get in.
With the
But
Dry
nobody
Bones is like a
knows.
related enemy.
Nobody knows at all.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
So, what were your overall
And I like-
thoughts?
So something added to the Luigi thing, I like that that's like kind of separated from the rest of it, so that the rest can be a little bit silly and like fun and lighter, and then they can hit with the Luigi, and it can maintain more of its spookiness by separating it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like it does better to be scary by separating it than it would if it was like connected to either of the two other scenes.
True. I feel overall
Anyway.
this movie is good. It just needs to replace one key actor. We all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's, in my opinion, only one flaw in the movie. And we all know what it is. Everything's good. Everything like has this really like nice looking texture that doesn't like stand out at all from these other stylizations. Lighting, beautiful. Every other voice actor is doing a great job. It sounds great.
So I'm tired. It is late for me.
Yeah. I guess my closing thoughts is I'm so excited for this to come out.
My closing thoughts is I'm heavily skeptical, but overall excited to see what Illumination's gonna bring for us, and whether or not it'll be a Pinocchio stop motion 2022 masterpiece or the equivalent of Thor, Sludge and Chunder.
Again, it is important to remember Nintendo has a big hand in this.
Yes.
There's been, a Mario movie in the past that was very bad, and so Nintendo is going to be literally involved every step of the way to make sure this is. I promise you, Nintendo is going to be there every step of the way to make sure that that's something that they are proud of is what comes out.
Yeah, I did say earlier that this entire thing is basically just Sonic the movie second trailer, but extremely long time away, because like what's the words in my head? The words in my head. I remember. Instead of being able to see on the internet straight away, oh shit, no one likes this design. It had to go through the entire process thinking it was okay, then go onto a YouTube, get the movie onto YouTube, and then have everyone realize just how shit it is,
They are doing so much to make sure that everything is as perfect as it can be, I think.
Yes.
Like, Nintendo needs this to pop off, because they've literally bought a movie studio.
It's not good.
So they need this to pop off to set them up to do other projects. And Nintendo cares a lot about making sure, especially Mario's like their guy. They gotta make sure he is as good as they can make him.
Yeah. I do think though that we have taken our final bite, and we have finished the show. Do you think so, Violet?
Yeah, I think so.
That was good. That's good. This is going to be a pain in the ass to edit, but I'll try and get it out soon because I really need content. I've lost 2 subscribers already. In descriptions, I will have Violet and my socials, as well as my Twitch and their YouTube. I also would like to notify all of you that I am streaming on Twitch, so yay, it's in the description. Violet joins most of them because she's a boss. Absolute chat.
It's fun. We always have a good time.
Yeah.